That
Oh yes, it's really going down in these communities when we're talking about kids and what they are getting exposed to. And I do apologize to anybody I do offend, but y'all gotta understand. And I got a good friend. We got a friend that we went to school with. That daughter wearing the LBGTQ, the flag, and I be wanting to ask her, I be wanting to bring her on to the show. I swear to God, because I be like, do you know what them colors represent? Do you know that the more LBGT you go, the more pedophiles you representing? I don't think a lot of people.
damn.
I don't think a lot of people understand that they're representing pedophiles. Pedophiles are going to California and getting their sentences dropped. R. Kelly probably
Really?
trying to get a retrial in California so he can pee on girls.
Hell nah. I don't even know what to say about that because we be so lost in the phone system. We don't even know what's really going on in the world.
And I
Shit.
do and I do preach that a lot. I'll be like, you know what? To all the parents that's working two jobs, you single, you know what I'm saying? You just trying to make ends meet. You really not paying attention to your kids because your kids probably got decent grades. So if your kids got decent grades, you're not really feng shuiing with your child because your child is doing good. But yet again, your child are getting exposed to things that he or she feels a little uncomfortable and not going to bring to your attention because they feel uncomfortable about it.
Well, that they need to. God damn it, because I want to know. Shit, because I'll be up at the school. Boom, boom. What
Hey,
y'all teaching my kids,
that
man?
there
I don't
has
do that.
there has been teachers. Um, Teachers have got expelled. Preachers have went to school. There's been a lot of school board meetings going on, and people have been exposed. I know a lot of people that watch my show are TikTok fans. Go on TikTok and look up grooming kids, and I guarantee you're gonna have hours of content to look and be like, man, is this really happening in America?
You know what? My daughter was telling me about this teacher that he was talking to young females at the school and he was trying to talk to my daughter. Do you know I went up to that motherfucker? I do not play. Leave my motherfucking baby alone. I do not play
Yes,
at
leave
all.
leave the kids alone is something I'm highly for, and I don't appreciate that it's going on out here.
Damn, you rolling a fat boy, huh?
Man, this is what I do. Normally I'd be like, y'all marijuana keeping y'all connected, hashtagging these red eye, changing the viewers I read, keeping underage smoking off social media, killing myself for your entertainment, sitting here with friends and family, starting a cannabis station.
Hey, you say killing yourself with us, okay?
Yeah, hey,
Hell
I
no.
kill myself. I put myself in danger for some of the stories that I do produce and I do put out um, with content. I'm a black man, and I'm probably one of the loudest Trump supporters, people that you will ever meet. And yes, my community, my black community, not do not like me being a Trump supporter. I'm a
They
sellout.
don't condone into that. Yeah, you a sellout. You went to Trump, man.
And you know what
Hey, my son,
I
go
tell them?
ahead.
I sell every nigga out to Trump if I could. Fuck it.
Fuck nah. Hey, look,
Mhm.
my son just had a basketball game, right? He just now started playing on activities, being after school activities.
Yeah, that's what's
Oh
up.
my goodness. I wanted to get on the fucking court. Do you hear me? Boom, boom, boom. You know me. I said I wanted to get on the court, but he needs some. I'm gonna show him. I'm gonna practice with him. Practice make perfect because I'm gonna be that parent when he get up there. I'm gonna be
Oh
down there
yeah.
with him, and he gonna be like, "My mama was there for me, number one fan." You heard me?
If it wasn't for my mama,
I
late nights in the gym.
I can't wait. So we being patient and shit. So that's about all.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it. So what's that you smoking? What's the name?
This is sweet sherbet. Uh, it's a hybrid. I smoke on a lot of hybrids during my show. I really, I really don't care what I smoke on. As long as I'm smoking on weed during the show, it really don't matter. But I do smoke on hybrids. I do a lot of dabbing and concentrates.
Mm. Be fucked up, huh?
I used to, man. Yeah, you know how we grew up. We used to be fat ass weed connoisseurs, and my thing was I want to be a weed connoisseur, but I didn't want to get in trouble. So I decided to come to Las Vegas. I'm like, man, Las Vegas was going recreational in 2017. I was like, man, let me go out there because I want to smoke weed and get in trouble. And I wanted to start this podcast thing. This, you know what I'm saying? I did not know how this was gonna work. I started off with a phone, going to lunch, smoking weed, just trying to celebrate and have fun with people and doing my thing. And then it got to where you see me at now. Got a little serious.
Dang, my phone ringing. Fuck.
Pause it. I will put you behind. I will talk to my audience, and when you come back, I'll put you back on screen. It's all good.
Okay, give me a second.
Yeah. Special guest, y'all. We went live, special live with a good schoolmate. I appreciate that she stopped through, she came through, and we talking about some things that matter. Ladies and gentlemen, when when I've been asking a lot of people to come on here and come hang out with me and just have a conversation. It's not always about politics that I would talk to you guys. I about things that I feel like are important, or we can just shoot the breeze and talk about normal everyday life. Like she got a son that's playing basketball. She wants to be she wants to get back out there on the sports. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Shout out to everybody that's into the lives. If you want to come somewhere and express yourself, you got something that you really want to talk about, don't hesitate to hit me up, message me privately, and we can sit up here and we can have a cannabisation. We can really talk about some things, get some things off your chest. There are a lot of things go on in people's lives. Your life, my life, anybody's life that you might just want to express, or like I was just telling her some things that she didn't know, where she kind of had an idea but didn't know. And I feel like these things are definitely important, are always important. So if you ever want to sit on a podcast and you're a little nervous, but you want to sit on a small one, hey, it don't get no smaller than this right here. You know what I'm saying? Come to the Burn Live Cannabis Conservative page, sit on her, be a Patreon, have a good time, and let's get into some stories and stuff like that. Now, in other news, y'all, and news that I have been hearing today, um, I explained that COVID's coming back. Um, a young gentleman, I can't believe I gotta cover this, but I gotta cover this. A young gentleman exposed himself at the White House, got caught trying to make a sex tape at the White House. Ladies and gentlemen, I do
Dennis, where's your PC? The
admit this
tournament's
when I
starting
say
soon.
this. This
I
really,
need more
really
time.
did happen.
What do I do?
This person really tried to make a sex tape and got caught. I think that's the most wildest part of it all, of you getting caught having a sex tape. And I think I got a picture of the person that did it somewhere. I thought I sent it. Give me a second. All right. So let me bring this up to y'all. Help let you know what's going on. Now, this right here, this young scholar, we're gonna call him a scholar. This young scholar right here was I'm not even sure what's his job at the White House, but you're in the White House, you're at the Oval Office. We're gonna hold you to a higher standard. And as you see up in the comment, film sex tape, senator hearing. So man, you did this in a hearing in the room, bro. This is nasty, nasty, filthy. And I'm gonna play a little story after this damn commercial, let y'all know, just let y'all get a little insight.
January the 6th, like December the 7th and September the 11th, is a date which will live in infamy. I refer to U.S. Capitol as sacred space because it's so much more than a building where the Senate and the House of Representatives meet and conduct business. It is the embodiment of our ideals, our aspirations, and hope, not just to Americans, but also to all of humanity.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. That is Senator Ben Cardin, who gave a speech in Congress telling us how he believes that the Capitol is a sacred place. Now, he was saying this in response to January 6th because he believes that what happened on January 6th was disrespectful to the Capitol. It was a disgrace, right? This is what he believes. Just what, 3 or so years later, he has to now fire one of his staffers for disrespecting and disgracing the Capitol. Except I think that his staffer did something much worse than what anybody on January 6th did. His staffer got caught making a gay sex tape in a Senate hearing room. He was getting pounded out, right? In the halls of Congress. Okay. Incredible stuff. I'm sure he's not the first person to get pounded out in the hall of Congress. He might be the first man to do so, but I'm sure that's happened before. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's definitely happened before. Let's keep it all the way 100. Okay. Our boy, Matthew Cawthorn, let's never forget how he basically exposed what really happens on Capitol Hill behind closed doors.
Look at all these people. A lot of them that I've looked up to through my life. I've always paid attention to politics, guys. That then all of a sudden you get invited to like, oh hey, we're gonna have kind of a sexual get together at.
What type of people wanna? Okay, listen here. We not gonna sit up here and lie and say that we don't have fantasies and we don't think about going places that we ain't never been before. We not finna sit up here and say that don't happen. I'm not. Okay. I'm not going to sit up here and say that don't. But to sit up here and say, you know what, I did have a sex tape in the office and I got caught. I think we wouldn't be talking about it if you didn't get caught. You got caught. You got caught. That's what's making the issue so extreme. Okay. Maybe if you didn't get caught, it wouldn't be extreme. We wouldn't even be tripping. I wouldn't even be tripping. I wouldn't give a hot rat's tail, but you got caught. And not only did you get caught, but you got caught during the wrong administration, during the Joe Biden administration. Joe Biden already getting hit up for the Israel-Hamas war. Joe Biden already getting hit up because the LGBTQ don't like that he's not being more strict for him. He already you're getting a tad bit too caught up. And it's making you look bad. Now, how you gonna proceed and keep it going? It's totally up to you. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to say that who the shoulda, coulda, woulda to nobody. Okay. I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm not here to say, but to get caught, to probably think that it's okay. Man, you weird. And I just got done explaining to a coworker, like, I don't like to call people weird because I think it's misleading. But you weird for trying something exclusive like that during a time like it's getting close to election year. I know I'm probably boring the shit out of y'all, but y'all know it's almost election year. Why would you try to do something this wild? And if y'all don't think this is wild, y'all tripping. I think I was supposed to talk about this yesterday. Actually, I think I was supposed to talk about this yesterday. What are we gonna do, y'all? What are we looking for the future? It's almost 2024, and what is the future? You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all step into your teenager years with your kids. Some of y'all are having graduation out of high school with your kids. What are we looking for? Are we gonna be more risk takers? Are we voting? Are we gonna be skeptical? Are we going to believe the hype that's going on out here in America? Are we going to believe the hype? Are we going to believe the the buffoonery. That's the word. Are we going to read? Are we going to believe the buffoonery that we have to go through? Are we going to believe the lies that they tell us? Ladies and gentlemen, it's words. I don't know how true this is. I don't know how true this is, but word is that Barack Obama, Barackist, Jim Beam Brown. Nah, let me quit playing. No, they saying Joe Biden is not pleasing Barack Obama, so Barack Obama might be looking for a new candidate. And it's been all over these news feeds. That's the only reason I'm bringing this up, because it's weird that it's been over news feeds. And sometimes the press cover stories and hint. Now, hear me out. They hint at things, and I believe when they hint at things, I believe that stuff be more true than meets the eye. I'd rather go off of a hint or a subject or an idea more than, hey, I know this is true and this is going to happen, and it turned out to be false, like the 9/11. So I was listening to this interview earlier, and they was talking about everybody wants to believe, and I want to hear from y'all out there. Everybody wants to believe that Donald J. Trump is going to get into office. He's going to be a dictatorship. He's going to bring us to war. He's going to start another civil war. It's really about to go down. It confuses me for y'all. It confuses me to want to tell y'all, how do y'all think like that? And why is we still tripping off the president when we got governors, mayors, and DAs and districts in your city that's having a hard time doing what they need to do? We got governors and mayors that's taking more and more of your taxpayer money than you, than the president. Now, I understand y'all probably heard that Joe Biden wants to send trillions and trillions of dollars to Ukraine. Matter of fact, that made so much news that Cardi B had to go live. She had to go get notes, people. She had to go get notes and say, look, I'm not gonna, what she say? She's not gonna endorse no more candidates until y'all want to get this together. Now, my thing is, I wonder how to your presidency. How are you gonna take this? Huh? How is you gonna take this?
Morning consult poll shows former President Trump leading President Biden 47% to 42% in a potential election day matchup across swing states.
This is what's scary, y'all. Now, people who don't like what's going on, if you don't like your gas prices, you don't like the food prices, you don't like the school systems, you don't like what's going on right now. The last 3 years, you do not like what was going on. You should be happy that you see this.
But perhaps even more worrying for the Biden campaign, 6 of those swing states were ones that Biden won in 2020. So let's take a closer look here. Trump is leading President Biden by 4 points in Arizona, 2 points in Pennsylvania, and a whopping 7 points in Georgia, states that were crucial to.
Listen how she said, a whopping 7 points in Georgia. A whopping 7 points in Georgia. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm trying to wake y'all asses up. so y'all can really get an understanding and look. Remember, Georgia, Trump got indicted. Remember, in Georgia, Trump got a mug shot. Huh? Remember, in Georgia, he got a mug shot, made $3 million off a mug shot. The most famous mug shot in our generation of our time. I think Bin Laden should have got a mug shot, but yet again, they killed him. They assassinated him. Look at these states. Arizona. Oh my God. Arizona was trafficking. They was trafficking, and they had problems all over the place. Everywhere they were doing what they was doing, they was seeing who they was seeing. Come on, man. PA. What's up, PA? Pennsylvania. I mean, yeah, that's Pennsylvania. Look at that, +2. Wyoming. Now, Nevada, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, Nevada, that's my work right there. That's me. That +3 in Nevada, that's me. That's my hard working. That's my Trump vision out here Trumpalizing everybody and trumping over everybody. Telling everybody every day, have a Trump terrific day. Let's traumatize the situation. That's my doing right there, y'all. Let's listen a little
to
bit more.
Biden's 2020 victory. The Midwest is in play as well, with Trump up 4 points in Michigan and Wisconsin. The former president is also up 3 in Nevada. I'm joined now by today's panel, Politico congressional correspondent Olivia Beavers, Naveen Nayak, president and executive director of the Center for American Progress Action Fund, and Pete Seat, former White House deputy press secretary during the George Bush administration and current Republican strategist. Thanks to all of you for being here. Great to have you. I have to start with you, Olivia. Look at those polls. I mean, look, we are less than a year out. You just had Congressman Dean Phillips sitting where you are, making the case that there is room for him, given these poll numbers. He kept going back to these poll numbers. How much concern is there inside Democratic ranks with whom you speak with about these poll numbers?
I mean, I think Democrats are quite concerned, and this poll is adding on top of a bunch of polls that we've seen, compounding the problem, which is showing that, you know, voters are basically saying, we might not support you and might not give you, might flip for Donald Trump. And that is definitely concerning them. There's concerns about how Biden has set up his operations in some of these early states.
Yet again, but what scares people is the main thing that I don't see what fears people. What did he do in the 4 years of office? But say things that people felt that hurt their feelings. That's the only thing he did was hurt people's feelings. So if that's the worst thing Trump did last year was hurt your feelings, what can he do for the next 4 years? That's so bad. Why is the Democrat Party upset that the young black caucus is voting Democrat? Huh? Why is people like Bill Barr going on comedy stands and television shows, got to explain to y'all why y'all scared of Trump? Stuff like this bothers y'all, and I'll be like, why does it bother you? I got people at my job today that literally tells me that, hey, they're having a bad time. They are scared that Trump is racist. Oh, no. Somebody told me that Trump said something he said all Philippines are bad or horrible. They can't go over there to the Philippines. I said, okay, cool. So the Philippines, he said, are racist, or probably didn't even say racist. Trump said something racist about the Philippines. And I think to myself, what a wonderful day. No, I want to hear anybody's statement put down in the comments. I'd like to read the statements. What makes Trump so bad? What can he do that terrifies people? This Trump deranged syndrome that people got, that Trump is so bad, but that you can admit, or you have to secretly admit that Trump did some good thing. Or, Trump did do this pretty good, but Trump kind of did that pretty awesome. Okay. All right. That's cool. I get it. I understand. I don't. I really don't. I don't get it. But we're gonna let these guys, because these guys are talking for you, since nobody will put up in my comments why or who or when or what or where.
as well,
Mm.
and whether he's been working hard enough. Dean Phillips, I thought it was really interesting. He kept on saying, because of his poll numbers, I'm in. But we're about to sort of see, does that really pull in other people? Because for a long time, we were also seeing polls that suggested they didn't want another matchup of Trump. They didn't want another matchup of Biden. And yet those are two of the leading candidates.
Yeah, it's such a great.
Okay, listen to that right there. Keyword. They wanted another key candidate, right? So I ask a lot of people about DeSantis. They be like, "Oh no, DeSantis is too far right." And then I be like, "Okay, so what's up with Nikki Haley?" They be like, "Oh, Nikki Haley, I really don't know nothing about her." But people that do know somewhat about her can honestly say that that she has warmonger all over her mind. She just wants to go to war. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. And then the favorite person I love asking about nowadays is Vicky Ramaswamy, Vivi Ramaswamy, and they be like, "Who is that? Who is that?" Okay, cool. That's the Republican side, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Republican side. So then I go on the Democrat side. I'm like, okay, so you got Joe Biden, but you don't want him. What about what's his name? John F. Kennedy Jr. that's running. There's another candidate who got pushed out the way, who they told they can't run. So the Democrats actually say, I quote, that you're not allowed to run for another candidate this year. Joe Biden is your guy. So if you feel like he's not the candidate and you want to put your hat in a race and you actually get some votes, all your votes that you get are automatically gonna go to Joe Biden. Now, if that ain't dictatorship, as that's not what y'all think that Trump is going to do, I don't know what it is.
Point that you raised there, Olivia. Naveen, let me get you to weigh in here. I was just in the Rust Belt, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Ohio. And what I kept hearing over and over again was not the concern amongst Democrats that their voters would necessarily vote for Trump, but that they would stay home, that there is an enthusiasm gap, as Olivia's report.
Okay. All right. Listen here, ladies and gentlemen. Who wants to go out and go see a bad movie? Who wants to go to that uncle or aunt's house that you know that's going to get drunk and embarrass you in front of everybody? Who wants to go to that? Who wants to go to a picnic that you know is raining? Yet again, who is going to go vote for a person that they don't want to vote for? Why is they going to leave? Why is they going to get out the house? Most people don't even know what day the actual election is on. I almost don't know when the ROC is, but I do got reminded. I think it's in February 8th, I do believe.
Reporting shows they're not as organized as Democrats think they should be in some of these critical places.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think it's a year out. So that the first thing I would say on the polls is like, it's amazing to me. Remember, a year ago, there was going to be a red wave. And those were polls weeks before the election. There was going to be a red wave. It didn't happen. So we're over-indexed on polls a year out. And the other thing I'd say, if we want to get into the polls, in none of these polls is Trump ahead of where he was in 2020. So he's basically at the exact same number, 46 in Michigan, 49 in Georgia. Those are all what he got 5 years ago. He's not made any grounds to this point. And I think the more important point is there is no enthusiasm on their side. You're not seeing this huge turnout for crowds. It's actually pretty astounding how little energy there is for a party that's out of power, that's in a primary. No question, I think there's a lot of work to do on the Democratic side to actually get people re-energized, to get people re-engaged. There's a year, the campaign is just getting going. So I am definitely not in the camp of the Democrats that are freaking out, but I appreciate if you pay attention to the polls, you can get sort of misled.
Pete, what's happening inside the Republican Party is so fascinating because here you have obviously a major opening with these poll numbers, and yet there's a lot of division over whether Republicans want to see former President Trump as the nominee. And boy, if you look at his polling in the primary, it sure looks like he is the commanding frontrunner as we get close to Iowa.
Yeah, he's being treated by the electorate as an incumbent.
Yes.
I mean, look at these numbers. They're absolutely astounding. And, even if Ron DeSantis pulls off Iowa, it doesn't matter. Ask Mike Huckabee and Ted Cruz and Rick Santorum. For them, it was Iowa and bust, not Iowa or bust. Like, it was over after that. That's all they got. I would say we'll all agree that it's very early when it comes to polling. Voters at this stage are very cranky and they'll eventually come around. But what's over all of this is economic anxiety. People don't look at the GDP growth and say, yeah, things are moving in the right direction. They feel the pain at the gas station and with their groceries, and that's being reflected in these numbers.
I'm glad you bring up the economy because it's such a fascinating moment as we track what's happening with the economy. Here you have inflation coming down, the Fed deciding not to raise interest rates, Olivia, and yet as I traveled through the Rust Belt, I talked to voters who said, great, but we don't feel that in our pockets. We don't feel that when we go to the grocery store. It's still not translating.
And that's a big problem for Joe Biden, who tied the health of the economy onto his name. And so you're seeing polling that suggests that Bidenomics is not polling particularly well. And it must be very frustrating for him. There's also dropping unemployment as well. But how do you go around saying, look, we're delivering for you and you're not feeling it? That optimism gap is hard to patch, but the economy and sentiments like that also move slowly. So like we were talking about earlier, if he's able to sort of shift that within the next year, he might be in a much better position.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And Naveen, we've actually seen the president pull away from using the term Bidenomics because he doesn't want to necessarily be tied.
Boy, I'm glad she said that because we all know that was not working at all. It wasn't working. It was not working. That's why he took away from Bidenomics. No matter how he showed, and understandable, some of the stuff that actually they said was true as far as what he has done. I'm not going to sit up here and say that he hasn't done those things, but those things don't show up every day on the radar as a successful, good job done. That's why. Okay. That's why it's the way it is, and it's how it is, and that's how we're gonna rock. All right. Ooh, I'm glad they said that. Cause I was you know what I'm saying? What was the chant? Let's go, Brandon. That started at a NASCAR race, and they was chanting, "Let's go, Brandon." That was over, bro. They done gave this man every type of hit up and love chant. I think he done got more chance than Trump. No bull crap. I'm not playing.
So closely with that, and instead try a slightly different message of trying to show people that he relates to what they're going through. Is that
why is that? Have anybody in here actually sat down and listened to this man talk? What is up with that? Why does he always have a story to tell to try to relate to the people and be like, this is what we was going through back in those days? Don't nobody care. Don't nobody give a rat's tutti fruit cootie hoot pootie. Real smack. We don't. And only reason I say that is because that's true. We don't care about your trying to be related, trying to have some type of companionship with us and stuff like that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not gonna hold y'all too much longer. Um, I'm having bad reception on this one, on this. I'm having it bad, and I'm not gonna play around with it. So I just want to go live. I had a special guest, so I had to jump on here real quick. I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Please like, share, and follow. Do all of that until next time. I appreciate y'all stopping through. Peace.